Hello everybody, and welcome to Thursday and a new video. So thanks for tuning in today. So if you weren't here on Monday night at 8 p.m., we had a discussion on a live stream, and had a lot of good people show up and a lot of questions answered. Kicked around some ideas of some new videos I can do. So one of the videos that some of the subscribers had asked for was they wanted a side-by-side comparison from the Promark to the DJI Phantom. So that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be in a two-part series today. I'm just going to be comparing the actual drones themselves and the parts and the remotes. And then hopefully tomorrow, if the weather works out for me, I will be doing a side-by-side comparison outside, and I'll do the flights. I just didn't want to make a huge long video for you guys. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with this. So over here, I'll go ahead and pan over really quick for you guys. So I've got the DJI right here. And I've got my Promark drone right here. Now, please keep in mind, really super quick, if you are a new subscriber to my channel, I appreciate that. But you may not know that the Promark, this is not it's not stock. I've done quite a few modifications. So if you go back and watch my videos, you can see what I've done to it. So we'll just do a real quick comparison here. So height-wise, you can see that the Promark is sitting up a little bit higher and the legs are a little bit wider. Now keep in mind, I did do a modification. These legs on the Promark, these are for the DJI Phantom 2 Vision legs. So that's a modification. So I did check the stock leg compared to the one here on the Phantom, and they sit roughly about the same size. So stock-wise, without the modification to the legs, these both would sit pretty similar in height. So I'm going to kind of get some of the things I brought out for you guys here. Okay, so they sit pretty similar. So again, here is bring this over. This is the DJI. Okay. And then this is the Promark. So I'm going to lift these both up here. Hold on a second. And I will show them for you side by side so you guys can get a good comparison on the size of both of the quads. So as you can see, they are both, relatively same in size. Obviously, the Promark does not have GPS assistance, so that is one thing that I say is a plus and an advantage to the actual DJI Phantom. So let's go with number 2. So you guys wanted me to compare the propellers. So for the propellers, here's the Promark. And the advantage of, and here's a DJI. So here's how they sit side by side next to each other. So they're close, but the DJI is a lot more sturdy. It's made of it feels like a more sturdy plastic, and it just all in all it feels like just a sturdier propeller. There's some carbon fiber ones that I'm going to order so I can do a review on those. That's supposed to help out on windy days. So I haven't gotten a chance to order those yet. And the motors, the upgrades, I've got those on order. They're still not here. Still waiting on those. They're on the slow boat from China apparently. So and here's the propeller for the Promark. It's not. I mean, Promark. It's still okay. It's not. It's a little bit, I don't want to say flimsy, but it's not as well-made plastic, sturdy as the DJI. I've noticed. Another thing, advantage for the DJI is with these guys, you've got to take off that little plastic cap for the Promark, and then you lift up that, or not lift it up. Then there's that little set screw that you got to undo, move that, and then you can remove the propeller. With the DJI, it's actually really simple. Everything's built right in there. So literally all you got to do is just screw it on. You'll show, if you watch my review video, you'll see, it literally takes about, like, to put all 4 of the propellers on, under a minute. It's extremely fast. It does not take long at all. So that's the propeller. So I think the DJI's got a little bit of an advantage when it comes to setting up the actual propellers and getting it ready to actually fly. Okay, so number 2, here's the batteries. So here's the DJI Intelligent Flight battery. This is a 4,480 milliamp battery, and here's the Promark battery. So as you can tell, there is like a huge comparison in size, and the Promark is a 2,000 milliamp 7.4, and this one's a 15.2 volt. So this one's double the size, double the voltage of this guy. So it's basically like 3 or 4 of these put together in one of these, basically. Also on the DJI batteries, I'll put it here so you guys can actually see it flashing. It actually flashes and tells you how much battery you have, which is kind of cool. This does not. Charging on this is fairly pretty easy. Comes with the external charger. If you watch the review, you can see it just plugs right in there. This guy, you either have to put it into the charging port and then use the charging cord, which is really not that big of a deal. But so typical flight time, if you go back and watch some of my videos, I did a time. Typical flight time on the Promark battery is about 12 to 13 minutes before it's completely dead. And it doesn't really give you it gives you a warning with the flashing lights, but if you're up high, they can be kind of hard to see. So with the DJI battery, it's got a couple of different warnings. So it warns you here, obviously you can see from the back, it's only got one. I need to charge up this battery. While it's in the air, if the battery starts going low, the lights on the DJI will actually turn red, and it'll start flashing red from underneath. Also, on the DJI app, it will let you know when your battery, when you hit 30%, it will tell you that your battery is low, start bringing it in. When you hit 15%, the DJI app will automatically tell your phone to return to home, and you can cancel that, but at 15%, that's kind of like you better get it home, because as we all know, these LiPo batteries, you're not supposed to charge them down to 0% or completely drain them. You want to leave at least like 15 to 20% at all times in there, and then don't charge them until you're about ready to fly, basically, or like maybe the night before you're getting ready to fly. So that's the comparison of the batteries. So I'd say the DJI has an advantage over the Promark. The way you put the battery in on the Phantom is pretty easy. You just basically go like that, and you line this up, and you put it in until you hear a snap. You're done. And that's it. With this guy, it's pretty easy too. It's not too bad. All you got to do is on the back, you got to open up the cover. You undo your clips, slide your battery in, connect it to the connectors, and then turn it on. So DJI has a little bit of an advantage just because it is quicker to get that battery in there. So it's got a little bit of advantage. Plus, it's got, with the DJI, I get average between 20 to 25 minutes worth of flight time. So that's another advantage that I say that the DJI has over the Promark. Okay, so cameras. So stock camera on the Phantom is right here. This can film all the way from 720 all the way up to 2.7K high definition. It has a stabilizer, and it also has a 3-axis gimbal on there that's motorized. And if you guys have watched any of my videos of the DJI, you can see that it's obviously a superior camera to this one here. I mean, nothing wrong with the action camera that I have on the Promark. It's pretty good. It's just this camera on here, it films at 30 frames per second, and it's got the stabilizer, it's got everything, so the camera, stays. With this one, it's got a stabilizer, so I'll show you it. So that's the action camera. That's the stabilizer. This does not have a gimbal. I think you can buy gimbals, like aftermarket ones. I don't know if this can actually handle an aftermarket gimbal, if it's too heavy for it to lift, or if it would affect the flight of it. That's not a modification that I'm going to be doing. And this is the stock camera that came with the Promark originally. So this is the, I guess, what they call a gimbal. I guess, it's more of an actuator. It could move up and down. It can't move left and right, and it's not a stabilizer. And this stock camera is only 720p. So it's a 2 megapixel camera, and it plugs in with that, and then there's your Wi-Fi. So stock wise, DJI beats out the Promark hands down by the camera, just the stock camera. Like I said, I upgraded, so this is a 1080p, so it'll film in the same. The only thing is the DJI's got GPS lock, and it's got the stabilizer, and it's got the gimbal that keeps the camera straight at all times. So hand over hand, the DJI is going to beat any camera that you put on here, unless you get a gimbal. That can make the camera steady. So that's going to beat that hand over hand. Okay, so let's look at the remotes really quick, and we'll compare those. So this is the DJI remote, and so when you turn this guy on, makes that little noise. You've got the indicators here that tell you how much battery that you have remaining. You got your light here. It turns red when it first turns on. And then once it turns on and connects to the actual copter, it turns green to let you know that it's connected. You have a connector here. Let's see a side view if you guys can see it. There we go. This is for if you want to connect like a neck lanyard. So that way, if you happen to drop the remote, or just to help with fatigue and everything like that. So that's kind of an advantage there. You've got your switches here. This one over here is for your GPS and your IOC, so you can switch it, and you can do like your follow me mode. You can do the point of interest mode. You can do a whole bunch of different options that the Promark does not have. And this one over here just does different options as well. So, and this controls your camera up and down on the DJI, where Promark with the stock one, you can move it up and down to a limited, but it doesn't quite have the abilities of the DJI. And then of course you've got your phone holder over here that when you're ready to fly, you just kind of flip it over. It's got a nice clip, and it feels a lot more steady. Now I'm going to be doing an upgrade on this actually. I haven't ordered it yet, so that's a future video that I'm going to be doing, but I'll be doing a modification on this remote. I'll be actually ordering one that ties into here, and then that way I can actually put my tablet. That's another advantage that the DJI has over the Promark. The Promark app only works with your phone, and DJI app works with Android, iPhone. Both of them work with Android, iPhone, or iOS, sorry. And then, but also the DJI app works on tablets and phones with the Promark. I tried to put it on my tablet, and it said it was not compatible. It was not able to put it onto the tablet, so it doesn't work on tablets, only phones. So here is the Promark. Now again, I've done a modification on the remote, so this antenna is not the stock antenna. This is a modified antenna that I put on here. So it's got same basic functions. Now you get your trim buttons, and that's for in the wind, where the DJI's got an advantage. I've got GPS lock, which GPS assist keeps it from drifting at all. You can turn that off if you want to, and you can put it in attitude mode to where you'll be the one that's in control of it. So let's see, we've got your camera up, camera down. The DJI does not have a camera on, camera off. It's in the app. So that's how you start, or camera up, camera down, and that's how you start your videos and your flips. DJI does not do flips, but it's a professional drone, so that's not an option on there. So if that's something that you're looking for, then the DJI is not the one that you want. But I wouldn't want to do a flip on my DJI anyway, just because I paid so much money for it, and it's a very delicate machine, and it's basically for doing videos and photography specifically. And this is not a bad one. The only thing I didn't like about this remote is it does not display the battery, so you don't know when the batteries on this guy are getting low. The only way I could really tell was when the Promark started to not really respond quite as quickly to the remote, and then I kind of knew that, okay, it was time to replace the battery. So you know, DJI's got an advantage where it constantly tells you all that information. This does have headless mode. The DJI does not have headless mode. So again, the DJI is more of a professional drone. So the Promark is a great drone to start off with and learn how to fly and things of that nature. So there you go. All right, so that's like a basic just review of the actual drones themselves. When the battery is inside the actual DJI here, it is it's pretty heavy. It weighs about probably a pound to two. I would say probably closer to 2 pounds. With the battery on the Promark, it probably weighs maybe just over a pound, not very much. So it's pretty light. And again, so with your DJI, you've got GPS, you've got your app tells you all the telemetry. It tells you how high you are, how far you are, everything that you want to know about that flight. It logs the flight for you too, so you can check that out later. So it's got just a ton. So all in all, I mean, if you're looking for a top of the line drone, you know, go with a DJI in the long run. But if you're looking for a starter drone just to learn how to fly, get used to drones, and I suggest that to every new person that's going to get a drone. If you're new, get something less expensive. Do not go out and buy a $500 drone like I have, okay? Because you're bound to crash. It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. It happened to me. My very first drone that I had, the SEMA that, if you look back on my videos, I did a review on, I crashed that. God knows how many times, I don't know. It was stuck up in a tree for almost 2 days straight, and finally got it down. So I've had my fair share of crashes too. So I suggest, you know, if you're just starting out droning and quadcopters, get something that's inexpensive. Don't go out and spend $500, $1,000 on a DJI right away, because you're going to crash. And I would rather see somebody crash, you know, $100, $150 drone than crash a $500, $1,000 drone and you be out money. So practice on the inexpensive ones, the lesser ones first, and then bump yourself up to a more professional once you're ready for that. So that's about all I have for that. If you guys have any suggestions, or if there's something maybe I missed that you wanted to see, that I didn't quite review on, and again, this is just going to be just the basic drone. Tomorrow I'm going to, hopefully with the weather, we had an ice storm that came in last night to Colorado, really nasty. So hopefully everything thaws out and I can get out tomorrow to do it. If I can't, then we may have to do part 2 next week when the weather looks like it's going to be much, much better. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please do give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that, and that helps the channel. If you really liked the video and you enjoyed it and you're looking for more, hit the subscribe button down at the bottom there, and next to the subscribe button, you're going to notice a little bell. If you hit that bell, that will let you guys know when I've got new videos every week that are ready for you to view. Typically, again, I upload on Thursdays and Fridays and sometimes the weekends, just depending on how much time I have for you guys. And also, if you guys want, it's not a requirement, but I do have fan funding on my main page. So if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, you're more than welcome to. I appreciate any donation. I'm working on a video right now. That'll be a special video for just the fan funding. It's not up just yet. I'm hoping to have that maybe later on today or tomorrow or something like that. But that's an option for you guys as well. So hope to see you guys tomorrow. If I don't have the flight videos tomorrow, I will have at least a drone review video for you guys. So either case, I'll have a video tomorrow. So in the meantime, guys, let's make sure we keep our drones up in the air and flying high, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Appreciate all the new subscribers that I've gotten. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the people that watch the videos and all the wonderful comments and likes. So thank you guys very much. And again, we'll see you guys on the next video. Talk to you later.